It's one of those cold, snowy mornings where you have to force yourself to get out of bed. And the only reason I did was because I'm starving. I'm starting my day off with one of my favorite reheat and eat breakfasts. This week, I meal prepped some low-carb egg bites. This is a recipe I've been making for years. It's so simple and customizable, you can make it different every single week. I'm going to link the video with the recipe down in the description box and up in the cards. This week, I made a dozen, and each one I made just a little different. When I'm ready to eat, all I have to do is pop a couple in the microwave for just a few seconds. This morning, I'm going to have 2 of my egg bite / muffins and a cup of ice water. Good morning, sunshine. First things first. Check out my new cat Galaxy blanket. Yes, I'm that person. Walmart special. Well, you know how this goes. I'm having a Monster Ultra Gold energy drink with a splash of banana split Jordan skinny syrup. And when I say you know how this goes, I mean, hello, welcome to my ADHD party. This is the place where I hyperfixate on something, even foods or drinks, and have them consecutively for probably 3 to 6 months until I'm completely sick of it and never want it again. This is my current obsession. I guess I better backtrack a little bit. I'm a little scatterbrained today, but it's going to be a full day of breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, desserts, drinks, you know, all keto, low carb, and diabetic friendly, of course. I got a lot to go over during the snack and chat or sip and chat. Let's see. Today is the 1 month mark of me being on an Omnipod insulin pump. I'll do a really quick update on that. Also during that chat, I will give an update on my car situation. Do you think that I have replaced the car that I have totaled? Or do you think I am still on the hunt? Possibly, maybe also, I'm not sure. It just depends on where my brain's at the time. But during the sip and chat, I may touch just a little bit more on the whole ADHD thing because I've been doing a lot more research. You know, the whole rabbit hole that I get sucked into and just can't come out of. So that's what's going on right now. Just, we'll talk about it later. Do I have anything else? I think that's it. I'm gonna go put a little bit of makeup on. Red Nose Club. Oh yeah, a couple of videos ago, I ordered a tinted lip oil off of Amazon, and I must admit, I'm loving lip oil, tinted lip oils, tinted scented lip oils. I have about 15 at this point. But the one I ordered off of Amazon is probably my favorite. I think I've just about used half of the tube. I've worn it in several videos. Forgot to update you guys on if I liked it or not. I will link it down in the description box, and when I put it on in a minute, I'll show it to you. So that's what I'm going to go do now. Don't go anywhere. There's lots to talk about, lots of foods to show you. Easy keto, low carb meals. Don't be Kristi and overcomplicate things. But before I go get ready for the day, I need to meal prep tonight's dinner. I'm making cracked chicken. I'm going to put the recipe up on the screen for you in case you're interested in making it. I grabbed my crock pot and then loaded it up with chicken breasts. Then I sprinkled in quite a bit of ranch seasoning. I'm pretty sure I have every single one of Flavor God's seasonings. I try to pick them up when they do $2 Tuesdays. I'm crossing my fingers they're still going to do that in 2024. Plus you can use the discount code that I have down in the description box, and these are going to be really cheap. Optional step, I'm also going to sprinkle in some garlic powder just because I love garlic. Now I'm going to cut up 2 blocks of cream cheese and throw it on top of the chicken. Put my lid on the crock pot, it's on low. I'm going to let this cook for 7 hours. I'll add the final 2 ingredients right before we eat. Let me show you what I love about this. First of all, they're not paying me to talk about this stuff. It smells good. It's not like super sticky, but it's not super oily. I feel like it moisturizes, not in a way like chapstick does, where you feel like you have to keep reapplying. Plus it tints my lips, so it's not like a lipstick, so I don't have to worry about it constantly wearing off. For some reason, on camera, it's coming off bright pink. It's not. Believe it or not, It is super hard to find a tinted lip oil in Walgreens, Walmart, Sephora, Ulta, basically anywhere other than online. I'll put the one that I got that came from Amazon down in the description box in case you're interested and want to go look at it. Okay, that's enough talk about lip oils. It's a little after 12 and I'm actually not that hungry. We plan on eating dinner between 5 and 6 and that's quite a few hours away. What I'm gonna do is have chips and dip, low carb keto style. This is the 3-ingredient sausage, Velveeta, and rotel dip. I spooned some out in a bowl, warmed it in the microwave, and now I'm gonna grab some pork rinds. So that's what I'm gonna use as my scoop. I decided to skip the soda for now and I filled up my Tervis with ice water. Welcome to today's snack and chat. This could be a long one, so sit back, relax, and get nice and comfy. Now, before I get into the things I mentioned earlier this morning that I wanted to go over, let's talk about the snack and the drinks that I'm going to be having. Did you see my recent video, Big Lots Keto on a Budget series? If you missed it, you probably missed out on some amazing deals. So go watch that video. I'm going to link it right here and down in the description box. If you have a Big Lots near you, you need to run. They had some awesome deals. One of those little nuggets of awesomeness that they had, Genius Gourmet Bars. This one is the iced lemon cake, completely coated. And the smell, heavenly. Big Lots had a ton of different flavors. 170 calories, 13 fat, 4 total carbs, 2 net carbs. Let me show you what the inside looks like. That yummy center just melts in your mouth. Now for the drinks. Yes, drinks as in plural. I have water and, shocker, I'm still sipping on the Monster Gold energy drink from this morning. These are massive cans. And I don't chug an energy drink. I sort of just take a drink here and there throughout the day. There's about a third of this left, so I will probably finish it during this chat. I do have a list, as always, but today it's because I'm a little scatterbrained. Probably what I should go into first. Then we'll work my way into the reason I have 2 drinks and what I recently discovered. Today marks the 1 month that I have been on the Omnipod insulin pump. I am pleasantly surprised with how well it's going. So recently I started playing around with my insulin to carb ratios and a couple of other settings just to see if I could tweak it and get it perfect. Well, let's just say that might have been a mistake. I had went the entire month without a single blood sugar low. Now, all of a sudden, bam, the past 2 nights, I've woke up with my continuous glucose monitor alerting me that I am in the 60s. Anything 70 and below, not a good number for me. My brain and just physically my entire body functions at its best when I'm somewhere between 95 and 120. Needless to say, I've been dealing with some brain fog lately. It's like everything's not firing correctly in there. I'll have the information, I'll know exactly what I want to say. I can even see the words, but it won't escape my mouth. A couple of days of that, and as you can imagine, I quickly went back into the app and turned my numbers back to their original settings. Now I just have to wait for the 3 a.m. lows to go away. Before the pump, I was dealing with the constant highs and lows for over 2 years. It was causing so many issues, depression, forgetfulness, fatigue, the cognitive decline, and brain fog were overwhelming. So I really think it's important for me to mention this again. I know I've talked about it, I think in one of the Vlogcast podcast episodes, and I've mentioned it in 1 or 2 videos. But with over 34 million Americans living with diabetes, whether it's type 1 or type 2, this is probably an issue many people are dealing with. It's just not talked about. It's known that high blood sugar, low blood sugar, and even insulin can harm the brain. It's known that high blood sugar causes inflammation, and it's believed that it may cause some brain cells to be damaged. According to a study that was done, type 1 diabetics are 93% more likely to develop dementia in their lifetime. That number scares me. My point of all this is there's tons of research and information out there. You may not even be in the right place mentally to look anything up at this point, but ask your doctor if you are suffering from any type of cognitive impairment. Bring it up to your doctor if you have type 1 or type 2 or even hypoglycemia. I wish that someone would have mentioned it to me so that it could have been corrected sooner instead of waiting 2 years. I honestly believe over that 2-year span of me having dozens of highs and lows throughout the day has done some damage. And I don't think I will ever go back to 100% normal. My goal at this point is not even an A1C number. I know a lot of people focus on that. For me, my goal is staying within my range between 70 and 180 so that I don't have any extreme lows or extreme highs so that I can preserve what I got left. Okay, moving on to the next topic, the car situation. Thanks to you guys and all your recommendations, I do plan on going with CarMax. Have I got the car yet? No. Am I obsessively stalking the website to hopefully see something that I'm interested in? Yes. Problem? It's not that I'm picky. It's that I'm a very indecisive person. So if you have a recommendation on the type of car I need, let me know what that is so I can be on the lookout for that. Now, let's get into this. Something I recently discovered. Thank you, Google. The reason I always have at least 2, sometimes 3 drinks within arm's reach. Apparently, it's an ADHD thing. Who knew? I've really not had the brain power to research ADHD symptoms since my diagnosis. But Google knows. Google's always listening. Everything on our phone is always listening. So just a couple of days ago, when I grabbed my phone and was going to type in CarMax in my area to look up the cars and see if they had got a new shipment in, it actually suggested this couple to me called ADHD Love. I took the bait, clicked on the little YouTube short it suggested, and was quickly sucked into that rabbit hole. They're an absolutely adorable British couple. He does not have ADHD. She does. Their YouTube shorts educate on the signs and the symptoms and the little quirks that we have that people just don't understand. Like the fact that I always have multiple drinks within my reach. One for hydration, one for taste, and of course, copious amounts of caffeine. Now, caffeine doesn't give me energy, actually. I discovered years and years ago that when I consume caffeine, it slows down all of those voices, well, my voices, in my head that are constantly running through the things that I need to do. Caffeine slows me down here. And goodness knows I was a self-medicator. ADHD never crossed my mind until, a year ago when I was diagnosed. I'm going to link them down below in the description box for you in case you love someone that has ADHD, think that you may have it, so that you can get the education and information. that they're giving out because it's been extremely helpful to me and my household. As I watched and consumed more and more of those shorts, I realized I could check off every single thing that they were talking about. I'm like the classic girl slash adult woman with ADHD, but also never talked about. And I've been dealing with this, now that I look back, since I was in school. The thing was, before type 1 diabetes, I had figured out how to manage it. But once I started having the high blood sugars and the low blood sugars, cognitive decline and forgetfulness, I just couldn't manage my symptoms anymore. It was getting worse and worse. And that's when I had mentioned it to my healthcare professional, took the test, and got the diagnosis. Just been a real eye-opener watching someone else that is going through the same thing that I've been going through. It's helpful to know that you're not alone, and also to be able to understand it more. I have extremely low self-esteem. I always think that I'm a horrible person. I feel like I have to be perfect, but of course that's not obtainable. Always late. Definitely time blindness. Object permanence. Remember, I always say out of sight, out of mind. That's a huge ADHD thing that I had no idea about, but I just know it's something that I've dealt with my entire life. If it is not something that I can physically see, whether it's food or people, it doesn't exist. I think there's a stigma around a diagnosis like ADD or ADHD, and I think that definitely needs to go away. I'm not saying that people need to be medicated. I just think it needs to be talked about more. The symptoms, the signs, what you can do about it, ways to work through it, but it doesn't need to be swept under the rug. I feel like we do that a lot. We don't talk about things, especially my generation. We try to tough it out, rub some dirt on it and move on and not ask for help. Well, guess what? That no longer works for me. I'm done suffering in silence. I admit, I need and want all the help I can get. Plus, I'm making it my mission to let others know. I'm going to talk about all the things nobody else wants to. And I've lived a life full of things that need to be talked about, from ADHD struggles, type 1 diabetes, diabetic dementia, addiction, and even my horrific gastric bypass story. It's all going to come out. And if that ruffles a few feathers and people don't want to hear it, I understand. You don't have to watch. There's plenty of other content creators out there. But for me, I feel like I need to talk about all of the struggles, all of the issues, all of the ups and downs, in hopes that it reaches the person that it's meant to, and either they don't feel alone or it helps them make a better decision. That is what you can expect in upcoming videos. I did not see the sip and chat, snack and chat taking that turn. Just know that if you plan on sticking around and still supporting my channel, even though you're not going to be seeing the pretty that most people put out there, you're going to be seeing the good, a lot of bad, and some really ugly. I appreciate it, and I love you. Okay, I'm going to end the chat here before I continue to just blah, blah, blah. But I'll see you in a sec. Don't go anywhere. The chicken, cream cheese, and seasonings have been cooking in the crock pot all day. So I'm just going to take the lid off and give everything a mix so that I can shred that chicken. I'm going to add the last two ingredients to the top: shredded cheese and bacon. Then cover for about 10 minutes. Stir it all up and you're done. We did have some keto buns left over, so that's what I'm doing tonight. And for our side, I roasted some broccoli florets in the oven. Drizzled on some olive oil, sea salt, minced garlic. Put them in the oven at 425 for about 15 minutes. To drink, I'm having a Crush Zero Sugar. After dinner, Chris and I started a new series. It's called The Last of Us. I was all prepared for a zombie end of the world apocalypse type of show. Let me just say, no. I've been crying for the past 2 hours because it's a tearjerker. I was so into watching it that I almost forgot about dessert. My nightcap for the evening is Chalk Zero Keto Bark, and it's called Nutcracker. This bag had 15 squares in it, and they're all individually wrapped. One square is 50 calories, 4 fat, 1 protein, 6 total carbs, 5 dietary fiber, so 1 net carb. Now let me fill you in on why this one is called Nutcracker. These are velvety, smooth milk chocolate squares, but mixed in is crunchy peanut brittle. Yes, you heard that right. I know Chalk Zero had a ton of markdowns going on, getting rid of their holiday stock, but I have no idea if any of these are left. I'm going to put the Chalk Zero link and discount code at the very top of the description box for you guys. Click on the link and go to the website. Then look for deals. You're going to be shocked at the great prices, but when you check out, apply my discount and it's going to make it even cheaper. And if you've not tried Chalk Zero, you are missing out on some delicious, sweet keto treats. Okay, I'm going to grab my chocolate, go lay down on the couch, and finish watching TV with Chris. Don't forget, I'm going to have everything that I mentioned in today's video down in the description box, so it's just easier for you to find that way. I sincerely hope you're having a wonderful start to your new year. And in case nobody's told you today, I want you to know I love you, and you got this. I'll see you next time.